I really believe that God is committing to Thomas Road Baptist Church the opportunity of capturing a world for Christ if we're willing to become champions.
The words that you just heard spoken were spoken inside of this building to the congregation of Thomas Road Baptist Church by Jerry Falwell. They were the words of faith and vision that planted Liberty University. Hello, I'm Elmer Towns, co-founder and today Dean of the School of Religion. Of all the miracles I've seen in my life, I don't think any of them are greater than the miracle that is Liberty University and what God has done through the life of Jerry Falwell, the founder of Liberty University.
We must remind ourselves every day that LU is first and foremost a place where God has assigned us to train champions for Christ.
I shall resign the presidency effective at noon tomorrow.
A landmark ruling, the Supreme Court today legalized abortion.
Liberty was begun when a woman was praying. In January 1971, Jerry Falwell called my home looking for me and talked to my wife. And he began to talk to her about the college he wanted to build. And Jerry said, tell Elmer when he calls you to call me. I want to talk to him about the college. I picked up the phone and called Jerry's home. Jerry, Elmer Towns here. What are we going to call the college? I said, Jerry, you don't start with a name, you start with a purpose. And we discussed for an hour what kind of a college we would have. We began with 154 students on September the 8th. We had the classes at Thomas Road Baptist Church Sunday school rooms. We ate in the Thomas Road Baptist Church dining room. We studied in the church's library. I was the only full-time teacher. The first chapel, I spoke on the Great Commission. And I challenged the students, let's be world changers. And from the very beginning, I think Jerry saw we were serious about academics and education. Toward the end of the first year, I brought Harold Wilmington. He came, and the students fell in love with him, and he with the students, and Jerry invited him to come back and begin a Bible Institute. Jerry was taken by two businessmen over to the old Carter Glass farm. It was some 200 acres right on the edge of the development of the city, but everything was run down, covered with weeds, and they brought Jerry, and he began to look around. And he jumped up in the air and said, this is it, this is it. We'll build our university right here. At the end of the second year, Jerry said, we're going to have a graduation. And he said, get it ready. So we had all of the students line up. And when they got their folder for diploma, it was an IOU. When we get state approval and state recognition, we will offer the degree. It was obvious that we needed a full-time president. And I said to Jerry, Gilliam is the man to run the university. We invited Dr. Robert Hughes to come and begin Lynchburg Baptist Theological Seminary. We hired Rock Royer to begin football, Al Worthington to begin our baseball program. Ed Heinsohn came, and Sumner Wimp came in that third year. Everybody remembers, well, glory. Great crowds gather in this football stadium to see our team play in the Big South Conference. But do you realize that on January the 21st, 1977, about 100 feet right in the air, Jerry Falwell gathered all the students in the snow. And Robbie Heiner sang, I Want That Mountain. And we prayed. And God answered and gave us over 100 buildings on this campus. Also up there was the old barn. Matter of fact, the only road to campus came right by that barn. God has answered many prayers for us here at Liberty.
That never shall run dry. Oh yes, I'm feasting on the manna from a bountiful supply.
We believe God's going to help us build the greatest Christian school in the world.
Today, from the steps of the nation's capital in Washington, D.C., senators, congressmen, pastors, educators, and thousands of students from all across the United States join Dr. Jerry Falwell in this special presentation of I Love America.
In the late 70s, Jerry began I Love America rallies. And Jerry intended to go to every one of the 50 states, and I think it was 44 or 46. We didn't get everyone in.
I Love America. The Liberty Baptist College Singers from Lynchburg, Virginia.
Jerry likes to talk about meeting Governor Clinton on the steps of the Capitol building in Little Rock, Arkansas. Good friends, odd fellas.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
MTV Music Television.
There are over 100 buildings on the Liberty campus. Many of them for athletics, many of them for dorms, many of them for academic pursuits. Behind me is the B.R. Lakin School of Religion. This building was originally dedicated in 1982, but soon its name will be changed to the Elmer Towns Religion Hall. All of these buildings are here for one purpose: to produce young people who will be world changers. Early in the 1980s, the entire student body moved to Liberty Mountain. We brought all of our students on campus and all of our classes on campus. But when we say all on campus, every student remembers at the beginning of every year, we didn't have enough dormitories, so we always started some in motels.
This dormitory looks like just a big mass of steel and blocks right now. But in a matter of 90 days, we're going to have young people living here.
And by the end of the year, dorms were finished and we put them in the dorms. The day that we had accreditation voted on by SACS, and Jerry got news. He said, Elmer, we promised that first day that we would have an accredited school, and we delivered. We kept our word. I started the accreditation process. Dr. Henry did a lot to make that happen. Ron Godwin came up with the idea of LUSL, Liberty University School of Lifelong Learning. We all caught the vision of what we were going to do to train people who couldn't come to campus. Later we called it DLP, Distance Learning Program. In 1985, the James River flooded. Treasure Island was overwhelmed. Most of the buildings were washed away, so we lost the use of Treasure Island also. It washed out the second half of our football season.
You know, the seniors always talk about the last time that we were playing on Treasure Island. You go down and look at the island, it kind of hits you because it's no longer there.